Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about uh, the governance portfolio, right? And upon my last video, also explained exactly how AI governance is very important. So in nowadays, you will see that the entire conversation around AI is revolving, circulating, generative AI, specifically the LLM and the LIM models. But I have seen that a lot of us forget that prediction algorithms or the traditional ML algorithms are still existing, and most of the organizations nowadays are still facing issue while connecting the dots, right? They want traditional ML, machine learning models to still be evaluated and still be taken care of, but that's where the problem lies, right? Not a lot of solutions are there which are incorporating both these capabilities. So I'll talk about one of those solutions today in my video, and I think couple of you must be aware about it, and if not, then yeah, there's a solution for you guys. So let me share my screen. I'll talk about watsonx governance today. So basically, when you talk about watsonx governance, in simple words, I'll say that watsonx governance is like a solution that is used to sort of group and monitor your AI models. Okay, basically when you're working on some sort of a use case, or if you want trying to resolve some kind of an issue related to your AI use case, then or your models, then you can easily go ahead with watsonx governance. So watsonx governance works with both your predictive ML algorithms, that is your traditional machine learning algorithms, as well as your generative AI capabilities or the generative machine learning models, the LLM and all that, right? The LIMs and everything. So that's the beauty of it. I'll show you a quick demo on basically how this solution works and how the UI looks and everything. So we'll talk about a use case where basically, let's say I'm a auto insurance company. Let's say I'm an auto insurance company, and I'm looking forward to evaluate the risk that is connected to the policy holders. Probably the high chance, like what are the reasons or what can be the intrinsic factors or the motivating factors for the policyholders to file claims. So as an auto insurance company, I'll take multiple features into consideration. So what has happened is that in my company, I have seen that there is a group of data scientists who have come up with certain hotspots, and I'm a auto insurance company holder in the metropolitan city of Chicago, and let's say I have this entire model with me. This is the model. This is the kind of data set which is prepared by my data scientists. They have done some kind of thorough study, and they have come up with the hotspots or the like the certain mm, s- uh, important areas which are very prone to accidents, right? And I'll take this kind of solution or this particular data and merge it with my earlier data set of the kind of driver, their age, the vehicle type, and everything into consideration to find out what are the motivating factors or what are the essential features that can result in risk. Okay, the risk of the policyholders filing complaint. So I will create a model for it. Okay, and at the same time I'll have another data set to evaluate the capabilities or the evaluation metrics of that model, the outcome and the predictive capability of the model as well. So I'll show you exactly how you can use watsonx.ai, sorry, watsonx.governance, in order to sort of solve this problem, evaluate the model from scratch, till the end, till the deployment phase. And yeah, that's it. So without wasting any further time, let me take you to IBM Cloud. Over here, I already have reserved and resource. So let me go to AI machine learning, and then I'll go to OpenScale, ITZ Frankfurt, and then launch watsonx governance from here. It's very simple and fast as well. So yeah, once I'm here, I'll just go to inventories and just check whether I'm on the right path or not. It's Frankfurt, yes. So this is the instance type that I've reserved. This is one of the instances. So I'm using a sandbox environment or a pre-warmed environment only. If you guys are directly working on cloud, then probably I'll still show you from scratch everything, so it will not matter. Let's say I just go to the watsonx, and then I'll create a new project from scratch. Okay, let me delete this one. So even if you have certain things already, okay, policy, okay, this is, what is it? Yeah. So let me delete this one first. It might take a couple of seconds to get deleted, and then yeah, I'll create everything from scratch. New projects, even if you have multiple projects, it does not matter. Let me go to the local file. I'll go to browse. I already have a zip file in place. I'll also keep that zip file in the GitHub repository, and I'll mention the link in the description as well so that you can follow the same steps and can have a good look at what to expect. Uh, okay, policy risk development it is. Let's say I write this one. And then simply I'll click on create. So basically this project is a spot where you can add all your models, the models, the data type, the metadata, everything. That is the training CSV files, the test CSV files. This particular zip file contains everything, even the model. I'll also talk about the model that I've been using in the upcoming time. So I have kept a gist of everything in this zip file. I'm just storing it in the project. So basically all the people who are going to work on this project, whether it is a data scientist, a data engineer, or any kind of stakeholders, right? They can go through this project and they'll find the amalgamation of all the reports and datas in a single spot. Okay. And I click on create. It'll take again some time to initialize the project space and everything. And within the 4 steps, it will be able to create the project successfully. So it's uploading the zip file content now, so on and so forth. It will provide us a response once the things are done. Yeah, restoring the project assets. And lastly, yeah, here it is. We'll just view the import summary to check whether the files have been uploaded properly or not. Yes, the imported files are 4. There were 4 files within it. The train CSV file, the evaluation CSV file, the one that we'll use to test the model, the policy risk prediction, and the model itself. Okay, the pipeline and the model itself that we are going to use. So here it is, and now I'll click on close. Once I click on close, I'll go to manage, I'll go to service and integrations. Over here, I'll just click on associate service, and here I'll associate the watsonx.ai runtime, which was earlier called as Watson machine learning. Because we are going to work on the predictive model part today, this entire video is on the predictive part only. I'll create a separate video for the generative part, but yeah, as we're working on the traditional machine learning algorithms, we'll use watsonx.ai runtime, which is the new name for Watson machine learning. Just click on associate. Once we do that, it's good to go. Yeah, just check. You can remove it if you don't want it, but we want it, so we'll keep it right now. Uh, Go to the jobs, deployments, assets. Here is all the asset that we have. Overview. Okay. Now I want to create the AI use case, right? As a data scientist or a data engineer, I want to create the use case, right? First of all, I might work on multiple use cases where I have multiple algorithms, so on and so forth. So for that, let's create a new AI use case. I have so many use cases that I've worked on before. So I'll create something from scratch. So let me do that. Crucial auto insurance policy. Okay. And evaluate the risk for auto insurance policy. Let me write this one. I'll save it to medium. I'll change the draft. Okay, so basically this is the risk level. Okay, how risky or how important is this particular model for us, or the evaluation of this metric is important for us. We can categorize it as per our need. For me, it is, let's say, medium, or probably it's even high. I can keep it as high. Status, depending upon the type or the uh, you know progress, you can select. So for us, we have multiple options. You can see over here. Okay, we can start with, let's say, uh, Probably, let's say if you are at a very initial stage, we can write, let's say awaiting, okay, ready for AI asset approval, for example. Okay, then AI asset approved, AI asset rejected, then it can go to the use case approved part, use case rejected, awaiting development, and then there's development in progress, and lastly developed. We'll go to the part where directly to the part where we will assume everything is sorted, this particular use case is accepted, and we'll go to development in progress. So we'll work as a data engineer for the timing. Okay, so we can keep tags if we want to. There are no tags as such, so we'll not do that. We'll just simply go and click on create. So once we click on create, it will show creating. Showing creating, as you can see over here, shows that the risk level is high, inventory, the type, the owner, okay? And then you can see all these things. You can click on access. In access, I can also add members. Let's say if I am working in a team, then I can add members from here. And as there is no group associated in my cloud, so I cannot do that. But obviously, if you are working on IBM Cloud and you have a group, or you're working in a good team, not good, but team in general, then obviously it will be good. So you can add the members from here and it will be good to go. The life cycle part is the part where I'll talk about it later on. So in overview section, you can see everything. So obviously, when we talk about watsonx governance, any kind of evaluation or model kind of tracking, it goes through different phases. One is development, then comes your testing phase, and then comes your deployment, right? So we also have development, testing or as validation, and then operation as well. Okay. And once we do this, uh, we can scroll down, okay, and go to development phase. But before that, I think, mm, mm, mm. Let me go to development first. Let's develop it. Then we'll go to the validation part, validate the model, and so on and so forth. Fine. Let's go to development. I'll just associate it with the same workspace that I already have. Okay. And then I'll click on save. Okay. So the development part is good to go. Then I'll go to the validation part. Associate validation. Let's say I create a new space for myself, and that is Rushabh policy auto insurance policy risk validation. Okay, as it is on the validation stage, so we'll write it as validation to validate the auto insurance policy. Okay, we'll go to the tag part, we'll write it as testing, and then select the service runtime. It is watsonx runtime cz. Okay, good to go. Click on create. Okay, we have done that. Policy risk deployment, close. Here it is. Okay, we'll click on save. Let me check. Good to go. Yes. Let's check the life cycle first. Okay. Okay. Now what I'll do is that I'll quickly go back to the AI use cases part, and okay, it's showing the insurance policy is okay there, and then go to view all projects. Click on auto policy risk development. From here, what we'll go do is that we'll go to the asset part, and then we'll check the policy risk prediction P4 edge model. Okay, from here we'll click here, and now what we'll do is that we'll track the model. We'll talk about first of all what the model is. We'll look into it. We already have this model which is created by Auto AI, so of IBM only. So it's basically a rapid predictive model creation kind of a solution, where you just looking at the tabular data, the model is able to create a predictive model which then can be sort of downloaded in the form of output as a Jupyter notebook, and then you can use it as a ready to use model very easily. So we'll not talk about Auto AI today, but this is how the model has been created using Auto AI. So I already had created it behind the scenes, and yeah, so I've used a regression model, specifically a rich regression model only over here. You can see the details, when it was created, how it was created, so on and so forth. What are the kind of features that we're talking about? You saw all the input features. So we have all the input features, and then we have we will be using the we'll be creating the target variable or the feature that was risk using this evaluation model. So again, these are the evaluation metrics that has been used. These are the kind of accuracy that it has achieved, so on and so forth. Okay, once we do this, then we'll click on track in AI use case. So basically we'll use this model to track our use case. Use default approach, click on next, then click on experimental. Nothing apart from this, click on next. Once the approach has been assigned, Rishabh auto insurance policy is the place where it is going to be used, and we'll track the asset. Once we do that, it shows tracking asset. Okay. Once you do that, you can now click on view details over here. It will take us to a different space, a different tab, where we can now have a look at the different phases. Okay. Develop, validate, operate. As you can see, it's blue and even purple for here, but over here there's no color. So we have not reached the operate phase yet. Go to the life cycle part, scroll down, you can see it is on the development phase itself. It has not been promoted yet to the production space. Okay. So now the first thing what we'll do is that we'll go to the policy prediction part before that we were there before. And now we'll go to the policy risk development. Okay. We'll go here, and now we'll do something important. We'll promote it to a space now. Okay. Basically, we'll promote it to the deployment phase. Okay, so I was using policy risk validation. Yeah, Rusha policy risk validation. Go to the model space. After promoting it, back and forth. Okay, cool. We'll click on promote. Once we click on promote, it will take us to a different window altogether. Promotion is completed. Now we'll click on new deployment because we're going to deploy this model onto a new space. We'll use online because we are going to take the data in real time and work on it by a web service. Let me name it as Rushabh Auto Insurance Policy Development. Hmm, Let me write it as deployment. Okay, Rushabh Auto Insurance Policy Development, so on and so forth. Hmm. Okay, let me do this for the timing and see what can be done next. Hmm. Okay, click on create. might take a couple of time to sort of work on it. Yep, it's deployed. It's good to go. Now, as you can see, it's deployed. We'll click on Rushabh Auto Insurance Policy Deployment. You'll go to the AI fact sheets. Okay, there are different things you can see. Private endpoint, public endpoint, the code snippet that you can also download if you want to. Okay, in Java, JavaScript, Python, and Scala as well. You can use this particular thing and then connect it as well. So we'll go to the AI fact sheets. Once you're in the AI fact sheet part, you'll have the in-depth detail of exactly how the model is running. You can see Rusha policy risk validation, description to validate the auto insurance policy created by so and so, created on this day. Policy risk prediction, ridge regression model that has been used, deployed, it is online, URL is there. If you want to go for further details, you can click more and it'll give you a in-depth detail on the fact sheet as well. Okay, the approach is this thing, default model is getting tracked, it is in develop and the validation phase, it is not yet on the operate part. Okay, tracking is general, the features that has been tracked or the input schemas have been mentioned over here. See, the risk is not a part of input schema as it is a target variable. Development is going on, data is there, explain variance, so and so forth. These are the metrics. Okay, no other attachments. Validation, it has been deployed on the validation phase. Okay, but number of deployments are none. Okay, you can see all these details over here. And now what I'll do is that I'll straight away go to the evaluation phase. Okay, in the evaluation phase, we'll do the magic. We'll click on configure open scale. Okay, check the data type that you have been working upon. Over here, we are working on a mix of numeric as well as categorical data, and the model that we are trying to use is regression. So it's automatically able to figure out all these things. We'll just need to do a manual check on top of it. Now I'll click on view summary. You can see over here what is the model deployed, model input data is numeric categorical, algorithm type is regression. It was able to find it out on its own. The feature columns are so many. Okay, categorical columns have been also categorized very easily. These are the numerical columns, these are the categorical columns. Prediction column is prediction. Okay, cool. Click on finish. Once you are able to do that, it will show saving deployment section. Once you do that, it will show configure open scale evaluation settings. Now here it will show training data label, training data features. First of all, what we'll do is that we'll assign the training data. Use manual setup. Okay, next. Upload file. We are talking about files. Yes. I'll go browse it from here. As I had showed you before, I'll use the training data that's in a CSV format. So what I'll do is that I'll use the delimiter as comma. Okay, we can have multiple files as you can see from here, tab tab files, space files and pipe files and all that. We are using CSV files, so I'll use comma. So the separating factor between the features or the input and the data within it, or the output and the data within it, is comma. So it's able to segregate it. So it will use every comma as a delimiter to understand what kind of data are we talking about, and it will be able to segregate it in the form of XLX. I hope you understand CSV formats. So for sure you will understand it. So that is how we are able to identify the CSV files. So I've chosen this, and then we'll move ahead with next. Once you click on next, it will show loading training schema from the specified columns or labels, whatever it is, label columns. Once you do this, okay, show less. Also check once again that all the features have been chosen except from the target variable. So we'll choose all the input features. We'll see what are them. And as you can see over here, uh, target, okay. Categorical ones are being chosen on its own. Numerical ones are kept blank. selected features on the target part is only one, that is risk. So it is able to segregate all these things automatically. Now we'll go to next. Once you do that, okay, we are going to make predictions. So here it is. We'll click on view summary once again and click on finish. It's showing uploading CSV file. It will take a couple of seconds to load. Once it does, we'll click on finish. And yeah, then we'll be able to move ahead. Here it is. We have added the training data. It's showing offline CSV file, policy risk train.csv. Then we'll go to the fairness part. Okay, we'll check on the fairness part. We'll configure it manually. And then go ahead. In the fairness part, we'll select the features that we want to protect from bias and then identify the monitored and the reference classes as well. So we can do all these things in the fairness part as it is mentioned. Everything's everything over here is very simple to follow and understand. So yeah, it makes the job easier for the data scientists and as well as the data engineers. So the whole point of having this UI is to make things easy for the knowledge workers, as we like to call it in IBM. So yeah. So as we are talking about regression, we are not able to categorize it as favorable or unfavorable. So we'll take numbers into consideration. So we'll keep certain brackets of number as favorable and certain as unfavorable. So let's say I take it from 0 to 100. I'll divide it in such a manner. Let's say 0 to 39 as let's say, okay, I need to remove it. So add value and then over here, let me make it as 100 and okay, let me make it as 40. Okay, and then add value as well. So over here you can see 0 to 39 as favorable and 40 to 100 as unfavorable. Click on next. Once you do that, it will ask you to evaluate using balanced data. I'll make it as 100, sample size at 100. Okay, I'll keep it as 100. Go to next. Disparate impacts, yes, the metrics are fine with me. I'll go to next. And then threshold for fairness as 80, 120 metric, it's good to me, good for me. Does the job. Over here, they will select the kind of fields that they think needs to be monitored. For the basic reason, I'll not take it as prime driver, age and gender for the timing because it might cause biasness. I'll keep it as minority, even though it is not the right way. Minority can cause biasness, I understand, but let's say if you remove the particular feature minority from that entire data set, again, to have a better look at the data set, I'll mention the link. You can have a better look. But in the auto insurance policy domain, let's say if you I mean, you take a particular sect of group, which is a minority, and you, sort of remove it from the sort of analysis, then it can cause indirect bias, right? And that's the reason I'll keep it as one of the checks to monitor minority part. And basically, it's like proxy kind of proxy feature, you can say, or particular input, because even if you don't monitor it, it can cause indirect biasness, right? It can cause indirect favor to that particular minority. Let's say certain minority is near a particular hotspot, which is more prone to accidents, and if you don't consider this particular metric, then indirectly you're also causing biasness because you're not favoring or you're not considering that okay, this minority might be possible because they are a part of this ecosystem, and they might cause problems, and it can cause basically filing policies and claims from the policy holders. So that's the reason we'll check minority as one of the boxes or fields to be monitored, and then click on next. Once you click on next, What will happen is that it will go to the second part. It might take again couple of seconds to load. Here it is. Add customer value monitored. Okay, as non-minority as reference. Here it is, and then click on default threshold, set up different threshold. No, it is keep it as 80. Save. Once we do that, I have added the fairness part for the evaluation. Next, we'll work on the quality and explainability part as well. So it's loading that part. Once it is done with it, it will show a blue part with a checkbox, just like for the model details and endpoint it shows. It means that it has taken all the considerations for the evaluation for the fairness section itself. Now we'll go to quality and work on it as well. Variance. Let me keep it as normal. Go for next. Sample size is 100. Move ahead. Not make any further changes. Then further couple of seconds, it will show a blue tick as well for this quality part. We'll not talk about drifts. Okay, if you want to, you can also consider that. But as we are working on this model, I'll use fairness, quality, and explainability because obviously, after everything, you need a particular explanation, a good explanation to have an understanding on the entire work to analyze the factors that influence your model outcomes. We'll go to parameters. Sharp gives a better kind of explainability, but LIME can give you a very fast response. So for the sake of this particular video, I'll use LIME, but Sharp is much better. There is a kernel explainer. So you can read much about Sharp and everything over here, and then click on next. Input as 500. Okay. Then click on next. It is also good to go. Once we do that, see over here the generative AI quality and model health is kept blank for me, or it is grayed out because we are not working on the generative AI part. So yeah, so it is done. I'll be able to show you certain things in a better manner. Here it is. It is good to go now. So what I'll do is that I'll just straight away click on close, and the evaluation metrics are loaded now. Okay, let me go to actions, evaluate model from CSV file. We'll add the evaluation part. We'll add the evaluation document and then see basically the CSV file and then see what it's able to predict. Okay, upload and evaluate it is. So it's showing uploading in progress. Once it's able to do that, it will give me all the details which is required. So yeah, this is the evaluation file that I have. Okay, let's say what it's able to predict. See, so it has passed. We'll first check the fairness. Okay, so it's able to find out minority has, this is the threshold. It is able to, it has gone much beyond it. So you know, minority has 99% favorable outcomes. Okay, let me check the payload transactions. You can have better reference also. Let's say explain prediction. If I click on it, then it will give me the factors leading to that prediction as well. Which features for this particular transaction details has led to that outcome. See the analysis on the left to analyze the top features influencing the model's prediction. It'll take a couple of seconds to load, but it'll give me a good insight. These are the factors that have been having positive effects on the outcome, and these are the ones that have a negative or a negated kind of effect on the outcome as well. Okay, once you do that, you can get back and go ahead with it. So yeah, that's how exactly you can easily uh, track the model, look at the different outcomes, have a better explainability, can inspect it as well, see everything over here. Prediction outcome, predicted outcome, and you can do it for all the features as well. So this is that easy to work on. And that's why there's a single UI which can do everything. So basically all your stakeholders can work on this particular platform. It is like a single unit to do everything from scratch, till the end, from your development part to working on the validation and then deployment as well. So you can monitor the entire AI model life cycle very easily. So yeah, that's the beauty of it. And that's it, guys. I will meet you guys in the next video. Till then, keep reimagining data with AI. And thank you all. Like and subscribe the channel for more interesting videos as well. Thank you.